When it comes to rigging some of these finesse worms, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. For me, I like to put a nail weight in there, and the weight is the key thing. A lot of times I'll get a real big one and I'll just kind of cut it down based on what size that I think I want for the presentation that I'm going to be dealing with, and I can take that one weight and use it twice. And what I'm doing in these types of situations is I will just poke the nail weight into the head of the worm right here, and you want a bigger, faster fall, you'll use a longer weight, heavier weight, or if you want it to fall a little slower, you'll just cut it in half or use a smaller one. You can order them in smaller pieces. Then the next thing is the hook, and I think the hook is a really important part of this. A lot of guys will use too big of a hook, and by that, what I'm talking about is not necessarily the size of the hook, but it's going to be the thickness of the hook, and what that'll do, I think, is impact the action of the worm. You want this to be as subtle as you can and not overpowering, but with a lightweight hook like this, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of coming through the middle of it like that, and then I'm going to rotate it around and spin it around. And if you notice on this particular hook, it actually has a little bit of a keeper here that's made by the line and I like that because when I pull it down almost to the eye, I want to leave that eye exposed right there. It kind of helps keep everything squared up, and then I just barely bury that in right like that. And if you look at what we're doing at Table Rock, in some of the B-roll we've been showing, we were running around a lot of times trying to get behind the docks, around the walkways. A lot of times that's where those fish were spawning, throwing the dark spots in the water. Might have been a rock, a bush, might have just been the drop-off out there, and catching a lot of fish. And by not using too big a hook, too much weight, and too big a line, you get a very subtle presentation that a lot of times will pay off in all those highly pressurized situations. We've got a battle here. We've got cables. We've got one going every direction. So far we got him steered the right way. Oh, good one too. We've got to go this way. And then we're going that way. No, we were just laughing about we had to make the proper skip to get underneath the cables and the dock and everything else. And you've got to go where they live sometimes to catch them, and these fish are probably up there spawning. Are able to skip it underneath there. The line went sideways. Best one right there.